Good morning, everyone. Today I'm presenting laser in pediatric dentistry. These are my contents, which includes introduction, history, classification of laser, fundamentals of lasers, which include characteristics of laser and basic components, laser tissue interaction, tissue temperature, different type of lasers, AEPD recommendations, conclusion and references. Introduction: laser is a new avatar of a light. It is a wonder beam, has penetrated into the normal life more than any other form of a concentrated energy. Laser is a light amplification by stimulated emission of a radiation. Light is an electromagnetic field which exists as a particle and travel as a wave at a constant velocity. It has a basic unit, photon. There are two basic property of a light, which is amplitude, vertical height and wavelength, which is a horizontal distance. Amplification is a uh, back and forth within the active medium, and further enhance the stimulated immersion and successive pulses through the active medium, increase the power of photon, and this process is known as amplification. And stimulated emission, it is a when energy is absorbed by the electron, it get excited, it goes from ground level to excited level, and but it won't there for a much time. It again goes to the ground level, and it produce a energy immersion, which is known as a quantum or a photon, which is a spontaneous immersion, and this photon is again energize the other atoms, and produce the same coherent photons, which is known as a stimulated immersion and radiation. Now, starting with the history, in 1917, Einstein has demonstrated the stimulated immersion. In 1939, Toner, which explained the maser, which is a microwave amplification, stimulated immersion radiation. 1960, Myman has introduced the Rubik crystal laser, and in 1961, Ali Jawan has developed helium laser. In 1964, Jusik has developed an Nd:YAG laser. In 1964, Kumar Patel has developed a CO2 laser, and the first laser that had truly both hard and soft tissue application. Um, in now the some landmark for a application of a laser. In 2001, Jayawardena et al. Arium ER Yeg laser exposed pulp demonstration good healing. In 2002, Scope et al. Demonstrated that the ER Yeg suitable disinfection tool in pulse space therapy. And 2010, Techinami et al. Has demonstrated that the EIA useful in removal of the root canal filling material. Now, classification according to the wavelength. The different lasers has a different wavelength. Argon, it is a have a wavelength of a 488 to 514.5 nanometer. KTP, which is a potassium titanium phosphate, has a 532 nanometer. Helium neon, it has a 632.8 nanometer. Diode laser, it has a 3 wavelengths, 635 to 617 nanometer, 810 nanometer, 980 nanometer. Nd:YAG has a 1064 nanometer. HyoYAG et al. YAG has a 2100 nanometer. Yttrium and chromium YSGG has a 2790 nanometer. YEG has a 9940 nanometer, and carbon dioxide has a 9300, 9600, and 10600 nanometer wavelength. According to the output of laser, low output and high output. Low output lasers are soft tissue lasers, which is argon and diode laser. High output, which is AR-GAG, AR chromium by SGG. Now, according to the state of the gain medium, solid, KTP, Nd:YAG, ER-YAG, YSGG, gas, helium and neon, argon, carbon dioxide, excimer has a argon fluoride, krypton chloride, and xenon chloride. Diode laser, carbon dioxide and diodes. According to the immersion mode, there are two types: continuous wave and pulsed. In continuous wave, carbon dioxide diode, Nd:YAG, ER-YAG, and pulsed KTP and YSGG. Okay. According to the hazards, class 1, low powered, safe to view. Class 2A, low powered, visible, cannot produce any known eye or skin injury during operation. Class 2B, low powered, visible, incapable of emitting laser radiation at a level that are known to cause skin, eye and eye injury within time period of a human eye aversion response. Class 3A, medium powered, visible, harmful if viewed without magnifying opticals. Class 3B, medium powered, hazardous if viewed directly. And class 4, high powered, ocular, skin and fire hazard. Now, fundamentals of a laser. Characteristics of the laser. First, with the coherence. Coherence, laser light is said to be coherent, which means wavelength of a laser lights are in a same phase, phase and same phase of a space and time. Then monochromatic. Monochromatic means a same color, and it means a laser has a same wavelength. This property of a laser light allows energy delivered to the specific tissue in specific way. Brightness and intensity. All the properties of a laser is related to this. The output of the laser power. So the laser has a high intensity and a high intensity and powerful flash and beam of the light. Directionality. It is a highly directional. Collimation. Collimation is referred to a parallel nature, which I shown in a figure, that all the photons are in a same parallel. Then focusability. It has laser is highly focused. Now basic component. Optical cavity. It is made up of the two mirror and a hollow optical cavity. Hollow cavity. In one is a first one is a highly reflected mirror, and second one is a partially reflected or partially permeable mirror. Active medium. It is a heart of the laser. According to the laser, the active according to the various material, laser's name is there. Which I will explain in later. Pumping source. Pumping source is a energy source which is provided to the active medium to stimulate the emulsion and amplification, and this can be electroid coil or a flashlight. Now controller and subsystem and cooler. the controller. It is a microprocessor that verifies the characteristic of a production of a laser energy, the laser immersion mode, pulse frequency of a repetition, and the length of the immersion of the single pulse. And cooling system, it is necessary to dissipate the heat produced for the pumping process. Now delivery system, it does once the laser is generated, laser light is delivered to the target tissue. The various delivery system are there: optical fiber, hollow fiber, and articulated arm. Optical fiber, optical fiber, there are two optical fibers. If in one optical fiber there is the outer jacket, then cladding, and the hole for the fiber core. The uh, thickness of the cladding is 125 microns, and the hollow core in the optical fiber is a 62.5 micron. In complex optical, there is a layer of a fluoride or a sapphire. Then the visible light, 445 and 532 nanometer, and near infrared light, which is 810 and 1064 nanometer. The optical fiber is used, and for a medium infrared laser, 2780 to 2940 nanometer, a complex optical fiber as a delivery system are used. It is easiest to use because it is a flexible, but the disadvantage is a wear over a time of a reduced efficacy. Now hollow fibers. Hollow fibers is in that the hollow core, surrounding surrounded by the reflecting layer, which is silver, then glass capillary, and on surrounding, then covering the protective buffer. This fiber is used for the ERA and carbon dioxide laser. These fibers are very flexible and light in weight. The disadvantage is a loss of energy over a time, and also to an important and uncontrollable variability of the energy delivered caused by the internal reflection by the silver. Now articulated arm, in this the mirrors are used, usually a 7 mirror used. In that the precise mechanism for alignment of the mirror system, so the we can transfer the laser beam through this mirror, while hitting and vibrating, while transporting the machine from one room to other room. There is a calibration in the mirrors. It can be dangerous because it changes the direction and energy of the laser. Many manufacturers use air yak and carbon dioxide laser for a delivery system articulated arm. The handpiece and tips. All the delivery system are has a angular and straight-ended handpiece. The ideal handpiece should be small, lightweight, and handy. There are two types: non-contact handpiece and contact handpiece. Non-contact handpiece, also known as tipless handpiece, uses as a sapphire. In that, the sapphire lens located in the final part of the handpiece. It is a very efficient, and it is a somewhat subject to wear, and it requires a close attention, because when the movement of the patient or a movement of an operator, there is a increase distance, and there is a variation in a distance of the handpiece and tissue, target tissue. So there is a problem with the angulation and direction of the beam. We have to more careful and give attention while using. Now close contact handpiece. The immersion of the laser beam close to or directly in contact with this handpiece. The disadvantage is fragility and wear of the tips and loss of the energy during immersion to the tissue. Now immersion modes, there are three modes: continuous wave, gated pulse mode, free running pulse mode. Then continuous wave, the beam transmitted at a one power level continuously as a long device is active. Gated pulse mode, a periodic alteration of a laser energy being on or off, similar to the blinking of the eyes. The mode achieved by opening and closing of the shutter in front of the beam path. Free running pulse mode. This is a true pulse mode. In these, a large peak energy of a laser light are emitted for the short time, followed by a long time when a laser is off. Now I will give example. When a pulse duration is 100 microsecond and the 10 hertz pulse energy is transmitted at a surgical site. So the light is present at a site for a 0.01 percentage and absent for a 0.01 percentage second and absent for a 99.99 percentage of a second. Now laser light interaction. There are four possible interaction, laser tissue interaction. There are four possible interaction with the laser target depending upon the optical property. One is a reflection, absorption, transmission, and scatter. Starting with the reflection, it is simply the beam being directed off the surface with no effect on a target tissue. This is a laser beam becomes more divergent as the distance from the handpiece increase. It can be more dangerous because when the light laser light is reflected from the tissue, it gets there are the chances that the this reflected light is goes into the operator eyes and damage to the retina. For when laser is used in a operatory room, all the person there in the room has to wear a glasses and a shield to protect himself. Then absorption, it is the most desirable effect. It depends on the tissue characteristics like a pigmentation and water content and laser wavelength. When laser is absorbed by the tissue and there is a thermal changes is there, there is a increase temperature of a tissue, and according to that we can get the proper effect. Now transmission, it has no effect on a tissue. Depends on the wavelength of the laser light, transmission occurs. Like example, a diode laser and ER laser are transmitted through the water, while carbon dioxide is absorbed by the water. Now scattering. Scattering weakens the intended energy because it is not a focused. It gets scattered. Then it is used in a near infrared laser. It is occurs in a near infrared laser in a healthy soft tissue. When this occurs, it leading to increased absorption and potential, it is potential for the injury, which is unwanted tissue, because scattering is also affect the adjacent tissues. It is useful in a laser curing of a composite resin. Now, biologic effect of a laser on a tissue. There are four effects: photothermal, photochemical, photobiomodulation, and fluorescence. Photothermal, by varying the various laser parameters of a beam diameter called spot size, energy, and time, laser can be made or to perform any of the three photothermal interaction. The laser beam is focused with a small spot size, which cause the incision and excisions. Laser beam with a wider spot size, it causes surface ablation. A laser beam out of the focus, which cause hemostasis and coagulation. Now, photochemical effect the lasers make to arouse chemical reactions, such as a curing of the composite resin. They can also origin a breakdown of in a chemical bonds, such as in a process of a photodynamic therapy. Now, fluorescence is a when laser is applied to the biological pigments, they absorb the laser of a specific wavelength and fluorescence. This property can be used for the and occlusal surface of a tooth. Photo biomodulation, or a low level laser therapy, and biostimulation. Some lasers can be used in a non-surgical mode for a biostimulation for a rapid wound healing, increased collagen growth, and general anti-inflammatory effect. Now, tissue temperature. It is a principal effect of a laser, which is a photothermal. This thermal effect of a laser energy on a tissue depends on the degree of a temperature rise and the corresponding reaction of the interstitial and intracellular water. The rate of the temperature rise plays in an important role for the treatment. And now, the temperature and effect by that temperature, the tissue temperature. It is if it is more than 37, which is normal, more than normal, hyperthermia occurs. When it is more than 60, coagulation and protein denaturation occurs. When temperature is 70 to 80, tissue building occurs. When it 100, vaporizations occurs. If it is more than 200, there is a dehydration of a tissue, and burning of the tissue occurs in air. And end product, carbon is produced as an end product, so it is known as a carbonization. Then some literatures, evaluation of a temperature rise following the application of a diode and chromium YSGG laser, and ex vivo study. Irium chromium YSGG laser with a 2.75 volt power generates low level of heat compared to the diode lasers, and may provide a safer surgery in soft and bone tissue without destructive effect of a temperature increase. Now, histological evaluation of a thermal damage produced on a soft tissue by carbon dioxide, chromium, YSGG, and diode laser. In result, the sample with the lowest thermal effect were those irritated with the chromium YSGG laser using water or air spray, followed by the carbon dioxide and diode laser. Emission parameter of each laser system may influence the thermal damage inflicted on the soft tissue. However, the wavelength of each laser determines the absorption rate characteristics of every tissue and the thermal effect. Now, different type of lasers used in a dentistry: argon lasers, diode lasers, carbon dioxide lasers, the Abrium family, and Nd:YAG. First, starting with the argon lasers, the active medium in an argon laser is the argon gas. It is energized by the high current electric discharge. The delivery system for these laser is a fiber optically in continuous wave and gated pulse mode. There are two wavelengths used in a dentistry. One is a 488 nanometer, which is a blue light, and 514 nanometer, which is a blue green light. Both the wavelengths are poorly absorbed in a enamel and dentin. So it is safe to use on a soft tissue adjacent to the dental hard tissue. Advantages: during the dental restoration, it is also used the surface chemistry of both enamel and root surface dentin, which reduce the probability of recurrent caries, remove extrinsic and intrinsic stains, bleaching of the teeth. Diode laser, solid active medium laser, semiconductor crystals using some combination of helium and indium, then gallium and arsenic. It is available in two wavelength. One is 800 nanometer, in which the aluminum, gallium and arsenic used, and in 980 nanometer, in which indium, gallium and arsenic is used. It is delivered by the fibro optically and in continuous wave and a gated pulse mode. All the diode wavelengths are highly absorbed by the pigmented tissue and are deeply penetrating. These lasers are relatively poorly absorbed by the tissue structure. The clinician should use air and sometimes water to cool the surgical site to continue to move the fiber around the treatment area. This can be used for a low level laser therapy. Indicated for the gingivoplasty, circular debridement, deeper coagulation process on a gingival and mucosa. Advantages: it is engrossed primarily by the tissue, pigment and hemoglobin, used for the soft tissue application. Disadvantages: it is poorly absorbed by the hydroxyapatite and water present in the enamel. Now, carbon dioxide laser. It is a gas active medium laser. The wavelength of carbon dioxide laser is 10,600 nanometer, delivered through a hollow tube like a waveguide to continue or generate pulse mode. It assists the cutting and coagulation of a soft tissue, so it provides a clear operating field. This wavelength has the highest absorption in a hydroxyapatite of any other dental laser. Therefore, the tooth structure adjacent to the soft tissue surgical site must be shielded from the incident laser beam. We can use a metal to protect the tooth structure. Metal instrument. In addition, it is useful in vaporizing dense fibrous tissue. Large lesions can be treated using simple back and forth motion. The procedure processed quickly because there is no need to touch the tissue. Advantages: it have a highly infinity of a water, rapid soft tissue removal, rapid hemostasis with a shallow penetration, generally used in a surgical procedures, both major and minor, improves mechanical retention of a sealants. Disadvantage: have the highest absorbance, large size and high cost, and greater hard tissue destruction. Now, the Yttrium family. There are two wavelength which is used for in a dentistry. Yttrium chromium YSGG have a 2780 nanometer wavelength. In this, the active medium is a solid crystals of yttrium, scandium, gallium, and janet, garnet, that is doped with the yttrium and chromium. Then yttrium egg, which has a 2940 nanometer wavelength. The active medium for the crystals of yttrium, aluminum, garnet, uh, uh, garnet, and it is doped into the yttrium. A hollow wave guide or a fiber optic bundle. It has a free running pulse mode. It requires a air cooler for a proper operatory field. Highest absorption in a water of any dental wavelength laser, and have a high affinity of a hydroxyapatite. The laser energy couples into the hydroxy radical in a apatite crystal and into the water. It is bounded to the crystalline structure of the tooth. This laser is act on water. It cause the expansion of the water molecule, and after expansion it get exposed explored by the explode. Both laser can readily ablate soft tissue because of its high water content. Advantages: it is the enamel surface, remove a smear layer, remove caries in enamel and dentin, remove dislodged GIC and composite, desensitize the hypersensitive. Now continue with the Nd:YAG laser. It is a solid active medium in that earth elements like yttrium, aluminum, and they are doped into the neodymium ions. The pumping mechanism for a Nd:YAG laser is a flash lamp. The Nd:YAG has a wavelength of 1064 nanometer. The delivery system, it is a free running pulsed with the short pulse duration, and it is transmitted through the water by 90%. It needs to be cleaved and clean, because as time goes, later on it is become less effective. Nd:YAG laser energy is slightly absorbed by the dental hard tissue. The pigmented surface carious lesion can be vaporized without removing healthy surrounding enamel. It is a Nd:YAG laser is absorbed by the melanin, but it is a less absorbed by the hemoglobin. It can be used as a non-contact, and for delivery system for this laser is a non-contact focused mode, and it is a penetrate into the several millimeters in a soft tissue. So it can be used for the as a soft tissue laser. Advantages is highly absorbed by the pigmented tissue, effective for cutting and coagulating the dental soft tissues, good hemostasis, used in a non-surgical circular debridement. Disadvantages is a high cost and a size. These are the various laser with the wavelength used in a pediatric dentistry. Diode laser with the wavelength of a four, which I already explained the wavelength. The diode laser is for the uh, which is used in a laser fluorescence and for the diagnostic application like detection of the occlusal caries, detection of the calculus in a periodontal pockets. Then diode laser with the wavelength of 810 to 980 nanometer has a soft tissue ablation, photobiomodulation effect. Periodontal, it is used in a periodontal procedures and whitening. Then ear chromium YSGG laser. It is used for the hard tissue procedures like enamel etching, caries removal, cavity preparation in enamel and dentin, osseous tissue procedures like bone ablation, soft tissue ablation, endodontic therapy, periodontal procedures, and treatment for oral ulcerative lesions. With the wavelength of 2940 nanometer, it is used for the hard tissue procedure like caries removal and cavity preparation and endodontic treatment. And now carbon dioxide with the wavelength of 9300 nanometer, it is used for the hard tissue procedures, osseous tissue procedures, and soft tissue procedures. And carbon dioxide with the 10,600 nanometer, it is used for the soft tissue ablation, treatment for the oral ulcerative lesions, and periodontal procedures. These are my references. Thank you. I will in part 2 I will continue with the how to do procedure and application of the various lasers in a pediatric dentistry. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.